So here is the breast cancer map. And one of the hot topics was, as it continues to be, what do we do with a HER2 negative, hormonal receptor positive HER2 negative cancer? Why? Because it's the majority of breast cancer. Of course, it's a very, very busy area. I mean, there are 454 studies. Well, let's talk metastatic, right? And specifically, a hot topic is, what do you do after these patients progress on their CDK4/6 inhibitor, which is the standard of care in first line? I mean, again, there's 88, that's quite a bit. But let's explore that to look at it a little bit closer, right? This is a complete database. This is not just ESMO, right? But here's the magic button. What if you want to know was there anything new for these patients? Well, I'm going to go to the latest conference. I'm going to select ESMO right here. And there were 16 studies on that specific topic, right? I'm looking at this and I'm saying, well, I need a little bit more detail. I want to understand what specific populations the study included. Well, no problem. Let's add that. Let's make sure we understand what was the treatment path in here, and did they present any subgroups, which would be quite important to know for specifically for my patient. So you could see that, for example, this study, it's not a new study, it's already in the guideline. And what was posted here, if you click here on more publications, right? So, and you look at the dates for 25 right here. This was the most recent. It was a subgroup analysis that was presented. So maybe this is not the most important that you want to know. So let's skip that. Let's get to Oncoscope Radar. We highlight the studies that are actually new and potentially treatment changing. So here's one of them. There was a study, VERITAC-2. This is a phase 3 RCT and a pretty big study. Now we have the N number, right? This is specifically concentrating. It's not just multiple populations that cover other subgroups like the previous studies, right here. You have multiple types of with by prior therapy. No, this is just specifically in that patient population. This is the drug. And there was a subgroup for the patients with ESR mutations, right? This is, as a matter of fact, now we realize this is not the first time we talk about this study. This is not, this was presented at ASCO, right? Or during ASCO, May 31st, this was right around ASCO. And there's quite a few. There was an ASCO, and here, what did we get today at ESMO? We received the quality of life analysis, and that is the result. So if I want to look at that quality of life, I could say, oh, I do want to see this. Well, and here it is. I don't need to go look for that. I could click and see that specific ESMO abstract right here. Okay, and here is the abstract, but I didn't have to do this. I could save myself time. Oh, I want to read it later. I saw a comment on LinkedIn, but somebody was commenting on this a nice post about taking the notes at ESMO and saving. And I was, could you send this to me as a PDF? I want to save it. Well, guess what? You don't have to do this. You could just say, oh, I want to remember this study. So let me download that one study, and it will download to you. It just takes a few seconds. And here it is in my downloads. It's today, October 21st. And I looked at the metastatic breast cancer that is HER2 negative, specifically for the patients. And what was new at ESMO? I selected, it says, for my selections, there were 16 new studies at ESMO, but I've selected one of them to specifically look. Every link is still here, so you could look at all this if you want to take your time later on and look at all the publications, comprehensive for all the publications for that study. That's how you're going to do it. So that is the value of Oncoscope Edge, so that you could save the time.